Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our weekly show, Development Talks. As you know, continuously in this program we discuss about different development impact aspect and the dynamics, highlighting the contribution of different development organizations, collateral and multilateral organizations in the development of Bangladesh. Today, we will be discussing about sustainable agriculture. And as you know, I am Kaji Rabea Amy, and you are watching Clio Television, the first online development television in Bangladesh. To discuss the sustainable agriculture issue with us, today we have with us Mr. Farhad Jamil. He is the country director of Syngenta Bangladesh, and on our today's discussion topic, we will be discussing more and we will know more from him. Before that, I would like to give an overview of the topic of today's topic to you. So, as you know, agriculture was the major profession in Bangladesh, and according to FAO's study, yet 50% people of Bangladesh are involved in agriculture, and 70% of our land are yet involved in different production. And recent days, agriculture in Bangladesh are under attack due to degradation of the resources like land, water, and harmful chemical uses in the production. With the help of different countries, government of Bangladesh has been trying to improve the situation. Yet, we expect interventions from different development partners, development workers, and the organizations who are trying to improve our agricultural sector in Bangladesh. Therefore, today we will have an overview and a brief discussion with our guest, Mr. Farhad Jamil, regarding this sustainable agriculture issue. Sir, welcome to our studio, and before going to our today's topic, I will be discussing some brief about your own personal life and your contribution to the development of agriculture. So my first question to you is, you are it's been almost 2 decades you are working for the development of agriculture in Bangladesh. Could you tell our viewers about the inspiration of your work in this agricultural development sector, or the story of beginning? What would you tell to our viewers?
Thank you Clio Television for inviting me to this program. During my career path, about last 20 years, I gradually engaged, learned and motivated and served my best for country's agriculture development and developing the agriculture ecosystem of the country. I studied my bachelor's and master's in agriculture from Bangladesh Agriculture University, and during my master's, that time actually I was exploring jobs which is fit with my education, my passion and also my career path, and I choose development sector to build my future career. I started my career with BRAC for their agriculture and social forestry program, and I learned about the development, actually how development organization works and how they will work, whom they serve, those things. And during that time actually I watched a television interview of Sir Fazle Hassan Abid, the chairman of BRAC.
That must be very inspiring for you.
Yeah, he told that, he said that the future development will be knowledge based.
Yeah.
The future decades of development world will be run by the knowledge. Actually that inspired me a lot, because I am always knowledge seeker. After that actually I joined CARE and served in different domains of CARE International for sustainable agriculture, market development and leading their agroforestry component all over the country. And after that, actually, I got opportunity to work for FAO for their urban and peri-urban agriculture.
Okay.
And I did lot of agriculture pilots for urban and peri-urban settings, and some of my works actually published internationally. And then I switched to UNDP. And after that, actually, I joined Action for Enterprise. It's a US-based organization.
Okay.
And I lead their private sector, potato private sector development program in the country. And that time, actually, I exposed both home and abroad. And in 2011, I joined Syngenta Foundation for Sustainable Agriculture as their country director in Bangladesh. And initially, actually, we start to small projects. Now, actually, we are running many projects covering a different aspect of agriculture. Because Syngenta.
So while going through your biography, I've learned that you have pursued one master's, or you have been you have studied abroad for doing your master's or PhD.
Not really, actually, yeah. I did my master's in horticulture from Bangladesh Agriculture University. Then actually I pursued my MBA in marketing, and also I got opportunity to study at Cornell University for Agribusiness Executive Management program. And in between, actually, I did my PhD in International Relationships from Dhaka University, and some high-level course from both home and abroad.
Yeah, so we can see that you have, as you have started your career with BRAC and with the inspiration from Fazle Hassan Abed, and you were saying that knowledge was the power behind your success. So to come with that, can you share our viewers some of your major successes?
Thank you. Actually, being a development professional, our success mainly lies with the organization we do work. And in my throughout my career, I have some small success. However, in this program, I would like to share one of my great impact development for the country. One is not for the country as well as for the developing countries. When I joined lead the Syngenta Foundation, we developed a robust, inclusive agribusiness service model that called popularly known as Farmers Hub. It's a one-stop commercial service platform that run by the rural youth entrepreneurs and serving different agriculture-related service and knowledge to the farmers on commercial basis. So any farmer in that community, they will get services. Those services are climate smart, climate resilient, at the same time which has actually economic growth and profitability. So that model also run by digitally. It was powered by digital development. We developed an app, so this Farmer Hub run digitally. And initially we have developed 4 in 2013. After gradual 3 to 5 years time actually take to develop a very robust model. Now in Bangladesh we have around 300 farmers hub serving around 200,000 smallholder farmers, and each of the farmers under a single brand called Farmers Hub. And since 2018 it is now implementing in 6 other countries in Asia and Africa.
Oh, wow.
And
so with the learning from our country.
Yeah, it's developed in Bangladesh, and now actually it is scale up in many countries in Asia and Africa.
So you are using some digital technology. Can you just give a brief about that?
Yeah, one thing that actually all of our effort is for helping smallholder farmer to make their farming profitable. But many of the cases actually farming is not profitable because of they are not starting their farming with quality inputs. Then they need actually some farming production efficiency, at the same time actually better access to the markets.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. It's fine. You can take it.
I stopped. So one thing that we developed the Farmers Hub. So in a territory of 3 to 5 kilo radius, 500 to 700 farmers, they have access to quality inputs, machinery rentals. At the same time, there is a marketing platform. Then they actually link to the market through Farmer Hub. And any of this commercial service, they will get state-based knowledge and advisory along with the product.
So you provide training as well from the Farmers Hub?
Farmer Hub. Actually, we help the Farmer Hub owner to understand the business, to build their capacity, to understand their community farmers' need, and help them in developing the quality product and services.
Wow.
And
that's great.
And one thing that, so the key sustainability point is that many of these rural agribusinesses are not running many years due to lack of their efficiency. So all of our effort, how we can enhance the efficiency of those rural agribusinesses. So to enhance the efficiency of the rural agribusinesses, we develop a digital app. That is very simple ERP to manage their business. At the same time, that actually helps farmers of owner to communicate with their farmers and provide some OVD service, some SMS service. At the same time, he can understand actually what is the demand of their farmers, and accordingly he can provide this. And also he can maintain his business. So together, actually, each of the Farmer Hub, it is a commercially viable business model, because any of the farmer owner, any of the youth entrepreneur join this business, he can earn at least $300 per month net profit, and his contribution to the society is around $30,000. So, and any of the farmer engaged with this model, actually that helped them to earn additional $50.
Wow.
So, and the dropout is almost zero.
So how many farmers are there in a hub?
How many farmers? 500 to 1,000 farmers.
Oh, wow.
In a territory.
Number.
In a territory and in Africa. And this is another smallholder farmers or farmers, sometimes actually they are struggling with access to market in a better way. In a better way. Everyone has access, but access to market in a better way. Actually, Farmer Hub is a unique platform.
Hard to reach areas. They are they are struggling with the access to market issues.
Yes. Farmer Hub is very close to the farmer's production zone with very good route communication, connectivity. So actually that helps farmers to reduce their marketing costs.
Okay.
That is one point. And in Farmer Hub is an excellent platform of sorting, grading, washing, and weighing facility.
So maintain the quality.
So maintain the quality. So any traders come to this point, he will get fresh and minimum handle products. So that attracts him. The second one is, so this helps to reduce the post-harvest handling cost, post-harvest handling things. Another one is large off-takers like agro-processing companies and others. They are not interested to work with small farmers. So Farmer Hub is an aggregation point. So nowadays in our Farmer Hub, 10 to 15 companies actually they are engaged.
Quality and quantity is ensured.
And the aggregation. So Hub is doing aggregation on behalf of the farmer. And our farmers, through our Farmer Hub, they are exporting in international market. Like there's the supplier of Kellogg's and many other international companies. That is one. And another thing that for the input side, Syngenta Foundation, we know is a knowledge-based organization. So we start with innovations, and then we can do piloting, then commercial piloting, and then scale by engaging the private sector and others.
Okay.
And in Bangladesh, you know that vegetable production start, for the smallholder perspective, vegetables is a high value crop.
Yeah.
Because they have small tiny pieces of land. But in Bangladesh, mainly they start with seed-based production system, but they don't have enough knowledge on the seedling. But in Bangladesh, we first developed the technology of soil-less vegetable seedling production. It takes 2 years time. We actually developed this system in Bangladesh. Now we have, each of the hub there is a very modern seedling nursery. Under
are the farmers interested to do this seedling nursery, because those might not be that such profitable?
Okay. Actually, we help the Farmer Hub owner because he is an entrepreneur. he develops seedling
Okay.
as per demand of his community farmers need and the market demand. So any farmer come to this place, he will get very high quality, zero mortality rate seedling, and it helps them to reduce 30 days in their main field. So it helps to improve the cropping intensity. And another thing that these 30 days, this nursery, they are actually judicious level of pesticide and insecticides were used. So even no insecticide used. So all this production, maintaining the
safety of the food safety, you might
food
say.
safety,
Yeah.
or maintaining the natural resources and judicious application things. So it is very much actually smart agriculture things.
Yeah.
So that is one. And another thing that my development, that I started the Syngenta Foundation in Bangladesh.
Wow.
So now it's growing. So one of my success that I develop a platform that talented youth can come and do work and explore actually their potentiality and serve to the society. So I think that the team that I developed, they will explore the best culture when they moving to other organization, or this is the platform when people come to this place, they can again serve to the because to create impact, either the person should have some institutional strength, or he should actually work with some institution like Syngenta Foundation and other organizations, something like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, very inspiring story. I got lost, and but if I go with the flow, there must be something which you think you could have done better.
Yes, one being a development professional, actually every day I try to learn something new and understanding about the macro and micro development space of the space, and try how I can do better. So one of the things that actually that in Bangladesh last 2 decades we have rapidly actually changing in the production system. So farmer actually there is a transition process is going on. So primitive agriculture to commercial agriculture. So there is a where actually farmers are getting benefited. And in Bangladesh, you see that actually we developed a lot in case of production. We are sufficient in grain production, and many of the crops and non-farm agriculture, we are in the global ranking. But food safety and the quality is an issue.
Yeah.
So nutrition quality is an issue. And I think that actually due to Bangladesh, the potentiality of Bangladesh agriculture yet not explored properly.
Yeah.
If we actually develop the good agriculture practice and the safe food system, actually that helps Bangladesh agriculture even beyond the country's boundary. So that's actually I think that our effort is how we can actually, I think that in my next years actually I want how we can develop a very safe food systems. The number one, and the number two actually I want to see that actually export oriented agribusiness processing, agribusiness companies in the country who can serve the country's population with quality foods. At the same time, they can actually serve in other countries. Like actually our Prime Minister said during the early stage of COVID that actually Bangladesh has huge potentiality for agriculture, and how we can feed our people as well as actually we can feed the people of other countries, neighboring countries or friend countries. But they will only consume our produce once the product is actually well certified and things other.
If we can maintain the quality.
So our next actually thing that actually we cannot achieve that much, that is food safety and nutrition things. So how we can involve, so we are actually working on to develop a very robust system and inclusive system, inclusive food systems. So where actually farmer can engage.
So if we want to know something about your dream or your unfinished work, would you tell our viewers about, right? You have already achieved a lot. So
one thing that actually that I we want to develop one thing that to develop a good certified food production system. I would like to focus, not just telling about very vast form. We want to develop a certified food production systems that actually create an avenue for countries to explore the international markets. And once the international market will be explored, then a farming community will get benefited through these systems. The second one is actually export-oriented agro-processing zones. That is yet not developed in country. If we are that much ambitious, then actually we have to work on that space. So collaboration and other things is required. Only Syngenta Foundation we cannot achieve that, but joining with some multi-stakeholder partnership that can help us together to achieve that one.
We already heard something about Syngenta's contribution to our agricultural development. Would you want to highlight more on Syngenta's contribution to our agricultural development?
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Syngenta Foundation for Sustainable Agriculture is a Swiss-based, not-for-profit corporate foundation. And we are working in Asia, Africa and Latin America, in developing countries, how we can improve the income and livelihood options for small and marginal farmers. And all of our effort actually science-based, market-driven, and actually it also any of our effort that should be climate smart or climate resilient. So any of the technology that actually Syngenta Foundation we are actually testing and exploring among the farmers level that actually climate smart. So it is very much fit with the sustainable agriculture concept. Syngenta Foundation right now we are working in 12 countries in Asia and Africa, and we have 3 specific development pillar. One is agri-services. So under that domain actually we develop different business model, different digital delivery initiative, so that actually the last mile farmers have access to inputs and services and markets actually that ultimately help them to make their farming more profitable, enhance productivity, those things. One. And the second one is that financial inclusion and crop insurance. Syngenta Foundation, we have strong experience in that line. Actually, we developed the largest crop insurance program in Africa. Climate
risk transfer.
Yes.
Okay.
Developed the first crop insurance project in Africa, and now actually it is serving many countries. And Syngenta Foundation developed a social business called Accor Africa. That is now it is running independently, and they manage all the crop insurance activities in that area in Africa. And Syngenta Foundation is only sitting on their board and advise. So that is a for profit.
So that is already sustainable.
Yeah, and bringing the knowledge and technology, we start the same thing in Bangladesh in 2016. We drew a robust feasibility study, long-term piloting, and then along with the support of Swiss Development Corporation, actually now actually we are commercializing testing of this crop insurance product in the country. Actually, that helps farmers to reduce their risks in farming differently. You can address the risks in 2 ways. One is by changing your practice or include new technologies. That is in one way. Another way, you can transfer your risks through crop insurance. So crop insurance is one of our domain. Another one is the food systems. So seed systems. Syngenta Foundation working in developing countries. In every country there are some seed variety or crops that actually not attract the large company. But Syngenta Foundation helps local company to develop those local breeds and help them in commercialize those things. So that actually that helps the small and marginal farmer to
we
have
don't
good
have
quality
to,
seeds.
Yeah, we don't have to eat the hybrid variety only.
Yes, because many of the cases the price is too high. Sometimes large company they do not have that attraction. So actually, Syngenta Foundation much engaged on the year, and we have a R&D domain, and recently we create another domain that is a climate smart resilient agriculture.
Okay.
So there are 3 to 4 different pillars, and innovation is all across. So we use the digital technology, all those things, and we are reaching many farmers. And partnership is one of our key areas. Syngenta Foundation always believe that being a knowledge-based small organization, we cannot impact more. So actually, we do partnership with government, we do partnership with the multi-stakeholder, we join in the multi-stakeholder partnerships, we join with other impact partners, and we also, we work as a, we facilitate this, we facilitate to build the ecosystem by engaging private sectors, beneficiaries, farmers, and all other sectors. So actually, we are working as a catalytic intermediary to do the things.
Facilitators role only.
But we have very clear exit strategy, very well-defined exit strategy.
Thanks for sharing with our viewers, and I believe that Syngenta is doing a fantastic job in the agricultural development of our country. So to come to our designated topic of today's discussion, that is sustainable agriculture, of course. So sir, how do you characterize the concept of sustainable agriculture in the context of our country?
To me, actually, yes, sustainable agriculture is the farming system that actually help farmer to produce more crops by maintaining the environmental health. So they have to cautious enough the minimum destruction of the soil water and other things, and also they have to think about their future generation. They use the natural resources for their production to feed the people during their time, and even after not destroying that much, rather actually improving the resources that actually help their future generation to do agriculture in a better way to serve the future generations. And in Bangladesh perspective, actually one thing that Bangladesh is actually a resource struggle country. You know that actually huge population around 44 million people depends on 4.4 something like around 4 crore people depend on agriculture, engage with the agriculture.
Around 50% of our
and huge contribution in on employment generation. However, GDP by volume it's increased, but by percentage it is decreased. But there is a positive growth. So I think that in Bangladesh actually, Bangladeshi farmers are actually they are living scientists. So actually they will adjust by their own way. They understand actually their soil, their resources what they have, and any new technology, anything actually potential for them, actually they are eager to receive those and try their best. But one thing that actually my observation that most of the cases, due to lack of knowledge or due to lack of confidence, they use excessive fertilizers and pesticides. Once any pests come, actually they have lack of access to the right advisory. So they go to the close
shops, maybe local shops.
And most of the cases, the quality of those things are not appropriate. So one thing that actually in production systems, actually we have to focus more on the practice level. Farmer start with quality inputs or whatever the input that actually not destruct the natural resources that much, but the excessive use of pesticides, fertilizer, or those things without unknowingly, actually that actually increase their production cost. At the same time, actually destroy the natural resources. That is not, yeah. So I think that actually we have to focus that. We have to find out what is the best possible way to educate our farmers about the balance used of things. I think that being
but
agriculture.
Do you think the production cost increases because of like using natural resources and highlighting those in the agricultural practice?
One thing that using natural resources, my case is actually efficient production system. Using excessive external things or not using the existing natural resources, both are actually not against inefficiency. Efficiency. So actually we want to do efficiency. So judicious use of natural resources, judicious use of things. So actually that help them to grow more crop without actually, sometimes they feel that using more external things help me to increase my productivity. It is not really in science being considering the in focus of science, actually it is not really the thing. The main thing actually how better they can use the natural things.
So the knowledge is again very important.
Yes, and another thing that I told you that the farmer are scientists because in Bangladesh farmer they are always passing the challenging situation, so they can adjust. You see that earlier farmer grow one crop, now they are growing many crops. Now they are actually diversified from rice to many other crops. Another thing, and they use the land 2 to 3 times, and you can see naturally there is a crop rotation going on.
Yes.
So crop rotation is one of the implement to ensure the soil health. And again, some external effort is required. The Syngenta Foundation, we implemented a project called introduction of water efficient technology in Barind area. Barind is a Bangladesh, many world they know Bangladesh is a country of flood and many things. But in some part of the country actually they are struggling with the water. So
especially the northern areas.
So actually we are working under the Ministry of Agriculture as a technical partner, how farmer can divert from water loving rice to other crops. So crop diversification. Another one is, so we introduced the technology called AWD, alternative wetting and drying technology. That is one. Another one is that ultra high density mango plantation using drip irrigation. So Syngenta Foundation first time we introduced the drip irrigation system. Under this system both water and fertilizer will reach to the crop roots in an efficient way. So that helps to and we also clubbing the technologies. So in traditional mango orchard, ultra high density drip irrigation is not that create that much meaningful savings. So we developed the ultra high density mango. Earlier in an acre farmer grows 60 mango trees. Now they will grow 620 trees. Mangoes, and individual mango has its own business plan. So together that is actually new kind of thing. So water efficient technology transfer is another kind of sustainable agriculture practice that actually farmer they cannot sometimes actually have those access to those technologies. So development organization, government, we can actually bring those technology, showcase them, test them, and actually work how they can actually it will be
which is the best technology.
So farmer can adopt, and our farmer hub actually make those technology available. Any technology tested, so farmer come to this place, they will get water technology, they will get seedling technology, all those things.
Even in the coastal area, we are seeing that now they are producing different crop varieties, which is saline
tolerant variety.
So this is how our agriculture is getting more sustainable.
And floating bed they are using.
Even the dry seed beds. So
that is part of our heritage.
Part of our heritage, and naturally we are adapting those nowadays.
Those technology.
So how do you assess the current status of sustainable agriculture in our country?
I think that government also want to see that farming efficiency will be enhanced. Natural resource will not that much distract. And government is concerned about the water issues that in Barend area, how they can maintain the water level in other part. So I think that in Bangladesh, what I mentioned just before that, in sustainable agriculture, our status, we are growing. So when farming is from primitive to commercial cultivation, traditional to commercial farming, so gradually farmers' knowledge and everything will be enhanced because they are going for commercial farming. So they have to consider how much resource they used and how much actually benefit they earn. So gradually they have to focus on excessive use of pesticide, fertilizers and chemicals. So I think that actually that part yet not addressed properly, yet not practice yet not seen that much at farmers level, but you can see the large farmer, they are actually practicing all those things. Another thing that actually government policy should be very much favorable, and the monitoring system should be well enough or efficient, so that under the government food safety or feed production system and the structure, any private sector or other agent can act beyond that government framework, food safety framework, that should be monitored properly. So I think that government should develop a very strong appropriate agriculture and food production systems. So policy framework should be there, and government should have a strong monitoring cell, so that actually they can monitor it, and also development organizations who are we are working. Actually, we have to create the enabling environment to show that look, this works. So create some impact, develop some showcase. So after that, actually, it will be and also about the private sector. So I think that we have to work together, not in a very silo form. Rather, actually, we can engage all the actors, and we have to position ourselves. The how development sector will work as a actor, value chain actor, or we will work as a catalytic intermediary or facilitator to facilitate the process to build the ecosystem, so that private sector can do their agribusiness following the government developed agriculture and food safety systems. So I think that actually holistic approach is the best.
So you are focusing about the government role and their focus regarding improving the Barend area. Do you want to focus more or discuss more for our viewers regarding what would be the what you see as government roles in improving this situation?
One thing that actually government has a great role about the coordination, because development organizations
to avoid the silo approach.
Agribusiness companies, many other players, even farmers, they are actually working scatteredly, or so some coordination and common effort is required. So all have to agree in this. Government can play a great role in policy formulation. The number one, actually, that is very much favorable for promoting the sustainable agriculture in the country. That is number one. The second one, actually, develop the framework and the role of each party, and the third one, actually strengthen the monitoring systems, or and also they can because it is very much actually mass human effort is required. So government can explore the digital or the ICT development, so that actually they can monitor the things, some kind of a dashboard and things, something like that, and also coordinating. And another thing that actually we have seen that sometimes in many countries, government develops some multi-stakeholder, coordinate the multi-stakeholder partnerships, say for water multi-stakeholder partnerships, nutrition multi-stakeholder partnerships. So all the actors will join that and discuss agreed with the common, develop a single plan and actually act accordingly. So that actually helped to boost the things.
So that whatever is your best practice could be practiced by some other organization, so that the coverage could be like in a large area.
Yeah. So that should be required. Yeah. So good.
Another thing you have focused on monitoring, like there are a lot of policies, but in practice monitoring is required to, I mean, best implementation of this.
And another thing that say for some time actually government have to faster their actually process, like good agriculture practice gap actually for export vegetables or fruits, that is essential, that is must, but the policy is sometimes actually develop the draft, develop the concept paper, but it's not actually moving. So government should focus on how to move the things and help them how to act the practice this by the respective actors.
In your discussion, you were mentioning about private sector. How do you see the role of private sector in this development of sustainable agriculture?
As you mentioned that last 20 years I have working in agriculture development, and almost 16 years I am working for agriculture market system development. So I think that private sector has a great role because any technology that goes to the farmers through private sector. So private sector has a great role, linking farmers to inputs, linking farmer to outputs, and linking farmer to market. So we can better educate them, help them how they can educate their clientele farmers, so that farmer cannot use excessive things, or farmer can learn how to do best practice. So I think that for sustainable agriculture, I think that this should be inclusive, and private sector has a great role. Say for if we use the maximum potentiality of agriculture sector, if we want to develop the farming practice, if we help the small and marginal farmers or any farmers in the country, so we have to support the private sector so that actually they can come up with investment, right kind of investment, they can explore the market, they can develop a strong input and output connection with the farmers. So through this process, I think that even sustainable agriculture technology or any technology, that actually private sector can play a great role, because farmers are always linked with the private sector. So government has defined its own monitoring role, and development organization, we can actually, being an impact partner, we can showcase them the success, how this works.
So it's been a long time you are working for sustainable agriculture in our country. What do you see the major challenges here to ensure the sustainable agriculture?
Okay, one thing that actually is sometimes farmers, they do not find the incentive. So actually the actor who are associated with the sustainable agriculture development or sustainable agriculture practice, each party actually we have to define the incentives. Sometimes businessmen, they think that if I suggest judicious application of pesticides, that actually that reduce my business. But if they can think about the long-term business, then actually they have to come up with the quality. They have to actually make their farmer profitable, make their farmers to do farming profitably. So I think that we have to find out the incentive. Sometimes farmer, they also think that practicing sustainable agriculture or judiciously applying things and quality inputs, it will help to increase my production cost and reduce my profitability. So I think that so that is actually their lack of understanding about the farming as a business. So we I think that in that case, actually one thing, we have to find the incentives of every players, especially farmers and the forward and backward chain players. So if we find the right kind of incentive, showcase them and communicate them accordingly, that actually help to promote the sustainable agriculture more quickly.
In recent days, we are seeing that the consumers are also gotten aware regarding their health. So we can see that during the summer, like the summer fruits, they are placing temporary stalls to sell the chemical-free mango, lychee. So here you can see that some kind of incentive is there, of course, from the consumer side. So how do you assist that? Would it help to promote this sustainable agriculture?
Oh, one thing that two things. One is that any technology that profitable for farmers, farmers always ready to take this one.
Yeah.
And another thing that actually we have a growing consumer segment. We have a growing consumer segment in the urban and even in the peri-urban area or the district towns and upazilas. There is a growing consumer segment. They want to have safe or safe products or foods. They don't bother. Sometimes actually their actual buying capacity has increased, so they want to have those. So I think that we have to make this growing demand of the consumer segment. And you see that during the summertime there are fruit stalls free of chemicals. Actually that actually help you to understand the demand and action of the consumers, and then you have to fit with the mainstream business.
Yeah.
Because if you consider the mango stall, the total amount of mangoes sold through different stores and the total production, this is very negligible amount.
Yeah.
So actually you have to develop something actually
which is for mass.
For mass, yeah. So I always tell that I am always beyond the organic. Organic is it is very fancy thing even for USA. So actually how we can develop the safe things. So we have also developed actually the residue level of each of the food. So actually, and through this process actually we can offer the safe things. So if we develop the right kind of safe protocol, it helps Bangladesh to explore the international market, and that ultimately goes to the farmers' income, increase the farmers' income. At the same time, it helps the country's people to get good quality or safe foods. So in your table, in our table, most of the product actually related to agriculture product,
of course.
And most of that is supplied by our farmers. You know, we have to also consider the in between the farmers and the farm to fork, farm to plate, in between the intermediary, they are actually using sometimes they do some value addition, but many of the cases actually they are not using the clean water.
Yes.
They clean the crops but using unhygienic water. So actually ultimately those things actually we need to be considered. So
Yeah.
I think that we are very much optimistic for the safe. If we develop the safe following the sustainable agriculture practice, then the consumer, the country people, they will get safe food in one fold. In another fold, farming will be more profitable for the farmers. And another thing that actually sometimes we told that for modern agriculture only the large farmer will get benefited. But the real sense is even small and marginal farmer, they have some capacity, because now they are not only depend on agriculture.
Exactly.
Their family members, they are doing other jobs, so they have money. If we can come up with we can offer the right things, definitely they will do. So I think that government, NGOs or development partner, and as well as the private sector who are indirectly related with the farming, they have to actually think how better they can serve the farmers. They are actually ultimate clients for companies, and they are actually help development partners and the government to meet up our agenda, like feeding the people safe things.
Yeah, exactly. So while working with this issue or this agenda to ensure the sustainable agriculture in our country, have you faced any policy barrier in your working experience?
Yes, one thing that I already mentioned before, that many of the cases actually developing the policies, sometimes actually engaging all the associated players. So sometimes actually during the developing during policy development stage, many of the cases actually right stakeholders are missing. That is one. Another one is sometimes policy, it will take much time. So actually that need to be faster. Say for Syngenta Foundation, we are going for developing the safe food systems for the urban cities. So actually we need some good agriculture practice guideline that actually last year, 2 years actually it is not actually the concept developed, but it is not actually officially declared. So I think that one. And the third one is actually policy implementation, so monitoring and other things. So government has a great role.
Thank you, Mr. Falhat Ramil. Would you want to have any concluding remark for our viewers?
No, thank you so much. Actually, one thing that we have to work together. So under the government coordination, public and private sector should work together. How we can promote the sustainable agriculture technology from our positions, so that ultimately help farmers to grow more crops following the sustainable agriculture technology that helps them to increase their productivity and profitability. And in the other hand, the consumer actually who depend on the agriculture commodity will get very good quality or safe foods that helps to build a very healthy nations and capable nations. So that one. And another thing, actually we can also to enhance the full potentiality of agriculture sector in Bangladesh, we have to follow the sustainable agriculture practices that help us to get access to the remunerative international markets. So that is so that could be another potential area for our revenue earning source. And actually that helps also Bangladesh to as a nation to actually promote our flags to international other countries or international markets. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. With this note, I, Kaji Rabea Emi, want to conclude our today's discussion. You were watching Clio Television, the first online development television of Bangladesh. So you have heard from our honorable guests that to ensure sustainable agriculture in our country, we need to work together. We need to form a multi-stakeholder platform from where we can develop the policies for sustainable agriculture, monitor and implement those, and ensure the incentive for our farmers. Thank you. Be healthy, keep safe, wear mask, and maintain physical distancing. Goodbye.